Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. For more health, fitness, and lifestyle content, please subscribe. It really helps support my channel. If you're new here, this is me. And this is my channel where I like to sometimes try recipes that I find on the internet. And today I'm going to try the viral TikTok pasta recipe. Jesus. Anyway, I have a TikTok, but I don't really post on it. I would much rather create content on YouTube, but let me know what y'all think. And that was my face when I realized that I didn't have the basil that I needed for this recipe. I don't know what the heck happened when I was ordering my groceries, if I thought I added it and I just didn't. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because I always tend to make recipes my own and I kind of just mishmash things together. I don't really like to be told what to do. I like to live life outside the lines, so I kind of just make it up as I go. So here I started boiling my water for the pasta. I got out my strainer and then I got out my 9x13 container for the feta and vegetables that are gonna bake in the oven. And here I am having a hard time opening this airtight feta wrapping with this super dull knife. It's just comical. Yeah, so there's my block of feta. I put it in the container and then I start to cut up my zucchini after washing them, of course. And yes, I sped this up for y'all because it took me like 20 minutes to wash off my zucchini. Thank you, OCD. And then here I am cutting up my zucchini. I did use 1.5 pounds, which I thought might be too much, but it actually ended up being like the perfect amount for 5 servings. So I just spread my zucchini kind of evenly around the outside of the block of feta, and you'll see that I later do that with the spinach too. And then I had a visit from my sweet Winnie. She wanted to know what the heck I was doing. She said, "What are you doing, Mom? It's like 10 p.m. Yes, I was making this at 10 p.m. Head pats, and then I tried to boop her nose, and she tries to lick my hands. And back to the cooking. Here I open my spinach and I start to spread it around the outside of the block of feta, just like I did the zucchini. Lots of spinach. I probably could have used the whole container, but I used about 4 ounces, I think. And here's where my recipe differs from the one on TikTok. I chose to use sun-dried tomatoes instead of cherry tomatoes. I also know that the one on TikTok didn't use spinach or zucchini, but I really just wanted to add as much vegetable as possible. I also added marinated artichoke hearts. I did cut these up. I used the entire jar, as where with the sun-dried tomatoes, I only used half of the jar. And by now, I'm sure you have noticed me struggling to open this freaking jar of artichokes. Y'all, I was having a time. Like, let's all just laugh together, okay? And then, yay, I get it open. For those of you that don't know, I have had 2 surgeries on my wrist, so it is quite difficult sometimes for me to open things, and my husband was not here on the day that I filmed this, and usually I would just pass things off to him to open. But I eventually, as you can see, did get it open, and then I start to chop up my artichokes and mix them in with the sun-dried tomatoes. And here you get to see that I measure garlic with my heart. Don't let anybody tell you that you use too much garlic. And then I put a little bit of extra olive oil in it, and I mixed up the garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes, the artichokes, and the garlic. And then I just evenly spread it around the outside on top of the bed of spinach. And then I decide to add a little bit more of the olive oil on top of the vegetables and feta. It may look like a lot, but it has a stopper to keep it from coming out all crazy. Then I added some crushed red pepper. I added a lot of crushed red pepper and it definitely came through in the taste later. Then I added some garlic salt, I also added some oregano since I didn't have basil, but man, basil would have like been perfect in this meal. And then I added some fresh cracked black pepper. And once my pot of water was boiling, it was time to add in my protein pasta, which was 100% plant-based. No, I'm not plant-based, but I did want to get as much protein in the pasta as possible. And of course, who doesn't order a pizza while they're cooking food? So then it was time to throw the vegetable and feta mixture into the oven. I did bake it at 400 degrees for 40 minutes. That's what the directions said, even though my version of it was slightly different and ended up working out okay. And then, of course, I had to sneak in a couple bites of the pizza that I ordered because at this point I was starving. After straining my pasta, I then added it all back into the pot, added a little bit of olive oil so that it didn't all stick together, and then mixed it up and let it sit until the vegetable and feta mixture was ready for it to all be mixed in together. And after 40 minutes of baking, it was ready. Please ignore my dirty oven. So then I take it out and then I dump the pasta into the container with the vegetables and feta in it after I crush it up, of course, and mix it up. But that's where things started to kind of take a turn for the worse. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in just a second. And here is my mountain of pasta, vegetables, and feta that I then decide to move into this bigger pot so that I can mix it all up. It was a little bit of a disaster, but all in all, it ended up turning out okay, so no harm, no foul in my book. And here I am getting my second arm workout in for the day. Get big. Like seriously, my hand started to hurt. Had to take a break. I definitely recommend portioning this out into separate containers. This was actually like a great meal prep for the week. And the macros weren't too bad either. I'm gonna show those at the end for anybody that's interested. So the ingredients that I use ended up being about 5 servings. I know I only show 4 here, but it did make 5. Overall, I was really happy with the taste, even though it wasn't quite as creamy as I was expecting it might be. And for anybody who's interested, here are the macros. This made 5 servings at 580 calories per serving. The protein was 27 grams, carbs was 62 grams, fat was 30 grams, and fiber was 5 grams. And that's all I have for y'all today, so I will see y'all on the next one.